Plaintiff Debbie Rogers is suing her former friends for unpaid loans and cell phone bills. Debbie says the defendants were like family to her, but now money has destroyed their friendship. Defendants John Nelson and Wilma Vanderbrink accused Debbie of trying to sleep with John, but they say they ended their friendship with the plaintiff after she threatened to stab her husband.
All right, Debbie Rogers is suing her former friends for unpaid loans and unpaid cell phone bills, the defendants John Nelson and Wilma Vanderbrink. All right, Debbie, tell me why you're suing the defendants for unpaid loans and unpaid cell phone bills.
Your Honor, I met John and Wilma in 2002, and we became very good friends. This is basically a case of dead friendship due to money owed. I met them in 2002 at a bar, and Wilma and I were like sisters. It's just a shame that everything's dead because of money.
How is it that you loaned her money?
Well, in 2003, March of 2003, they wanted to get cell phones. They didn't have very good credit. She had a track phone. And she said, well, you got a cell phone, because I got one, and I'll give you my track phone if you give me your cell phone and get one for John. And I did that. I said, but Wilma, this is on my credit. The bills have to be paid on time. They have to be paid in full.
Were they working at the time?
They both work. They make more money than I do.
Okay. All right. So, why are you borrowing money from Debbie?
At the time, we didn't have very good credit, and she helped us get the cell phones.
Okay.
I have last 3 months statements from their credit cards that they were always in arrears. I paid these bills up and have proof of it.
How does this prove they're in arrears? It's your bill.
It's their phone numbers.
You want to see this? Jimmy showed us to them. All right, Debbie, how did the friendship break up?
I knew they weren't going to pay the bills. Wilma called, left me nasty voice messages on my phone, left a nasty message on my husband's phone saying, I see why you hate that blank.
Meaning you?
Meaning me. To my husband. And then she left voice messages on my phone, which I'd like to play for you, Your Honor.
Sure, go ahead.
I'm going to pay the cell phone bill. I'll get that paid. That's all good luck. You know what? I'm not going to get that paid. Because you deactivated the phone, and I'm going to pay the cell phone bill. Okay? So that's on you. Okay? And as far as anything else is concerned, I'm going to pay you your money. So don't worry about it. I'll get that paid. Okay? I hate you, but you'll be that driving ring. Your husband with the photo ring. And $1,000 I gave your daughter with the fish. No, I don't count for nothing. I just stood off. Well, I took them down to kind of bad bad. And John slept in the bed. But
I get it.
so just wait.
That's enough. What's with the dog in the bed?
Oh, she lived with us for 2 months, and she moved out.
You live with them?
I had to move out of my apartment. I moved out of my apartment on the 22nd of February. I moved into their home, their apartment, and about a week later it got really tense, and I moved in with my future husband. And Wilma said, we'll keep the dogs. Don't worry about the dogs.
You're saying you didn't sleep in the bed because you let her dog sleep in the bed?
No, we couldn't sleep together because he had 3 dogs I had 3 dogs on the couch, and he had 2 dogs in the bed. We had 5 dogs at the house all at once, with her 3, or with her 2.
So you're not sleeping with him?
Oh, not when the dogs were there.
What's your side of the story?
I met her through my husband, which I did not meet her with my husband. I met her after the fact that she took him home and tried to sleep with him. And then I found, then I found that out about probably a month later after I met her.
So why'd you make friends with her?
Because I liked her so well. We really did. We hit it off. And, Your Honor, they did not sleep together. They were in the same bed together. How do you know?
They did not sleep together? They were in the same bed together?
Well, that's what she told me.
And you believe it?
Yeah. I believed it.
I'm asking you, John.
I believed it.
You're asking me?
Yeah, what's the deal?
Nothing.
You meet her at a bar, you go home with her?
We were too drunk.
So why don't you go to your own house?
I have no idea. She did live there for a month.
Yes, she did.
No, I'm back at the bar.
Okay.
That was very good, by the way.
That was a mistake I shouldn't have made, and Debbie did tell Wilma about it. And
you told Wilma?
Yes, ma'am. Because we didn't do anything anyway. And he was too drunk to drive home.
And I believe
So why
that.
didn't you call your wife if you're too drunk to drive home? You forgot you had a wife?
She'd have yelled.
So you didn't come home that night and she wasn't going to yell? What do you think is worse, calling her up saying I'm drunk or showing up the next morning?
Both were bad.
Okay, hey, who am I to say?
But Your Honor, we didn't end the relationship because of money. We ended the relationship because of her husband. He is very abusive.
To whom?
To her. He is very abusive to her. He's an abusive husband. We went to a concert with them. And against his better judgment, he told us we should go home.
Who's he?
My husband.
Yeah.
But since I'm the boss, and I promised her that we would spend the night with him, well, we woke up in the middle of the night at 4 o'clock in the morning, and there was doors banging. She threatened to stab him with a knife in the heart, and she said she didn't care if she went to jail for the rest of her life. And we feared that he's going to kill her. He is abusive. He's a very abusive man. He's even called me up and asked me to go to bed with him. And I told her about it, and she ignores it.
Is any of this true?
Yes, ma'am, it is.
We were into an argument, but
Yes.
it has nothing to do with this case, ma'am.
Yes, it does.
And that's
Yes, it
not
does.
what.
Yes,
that's
it does.
Not,
It has to
that
do
Why
is
does
with
it
not
have to
at
do
all.
with the case?
Because it has everything to do with it. She says it's the money that cut friendship off.
Right.
That's not true.
Right?
I almost called 911 the night I made him go home in his underwear. I wouldn't even let him put on his clothes. We were out that fast. We were gone that fast.
What I want to know is when all 4 of you were sleeping together after the concert, where did the dog sleep?
No, we didn't all 4 sleep together. I was in a spare bedroom. She was in her bedroom, and her husband was on the
They
chair.
were fighting that night.
Huh?
Well, they were fighting that
They
night.
were fighting horribly.
Okay,
Horribly.
okay. All right. Phone bill. Cancellation fee. Did you cancel the phone, Debbie?
Actually, I suspended John's, and I plan on canceling it, which is going to cost $200 to cancel his.
Okay.
I reactivated Wilma's, but changed the SIM card so she can't use it.
So what does she owe you?
It'll be $200 to cancel John's.
Right, $200 to cancel John's, but you didn't cancel Wilma's.
Right, so it'll be another $18 through October 6th.
So, and the cell phone bill, $232?
Yes.
Where is that? Is that the 174 plus the 89?
It was $174.26 plus $38.59, and then there's another $18 on top of that. I have the receipts of what I have
But
paid.
what is the total? Don't make me add this up.
$432.26, and that includes the $200 for the cancellation fee on John's phone.
Okay, and so you didn't cancel Wilma's phone because if you suspend it, you don't have to go to the point of canceling, and if you cancel them both at the same time, you only have one cancellation fee?
No, it's $400. If I let Wilma's run out till October 6th, which is when her contract
runs
ends,
out, right.
I don't have to pay the
cancellation.
$200.
Got it.
Right,
Okay,
and I was
good.
trying to save myself
Okay,
some
now
money.
you agree that you weren't paying the cell phone bills.
Ma'am.
You looked at this.
We paid the cell phone
Right here.
bills for the last 5 years.
I've got a year and a half. No, I've got records showing right up till July of us paying. In August, she cut the phones off. She called me up and she said, "Well, I'm cutting phones off because of non-payment." I said, "Debbie, what are you doing?"
You know what? I don't know
one
whose
that's-
phone bill they're paying, but they're paying a phone bill every month. It's an automatic debit to T-Mobile.
But it's not all of it at the same time, ma'am. And
Yes, it is, Debbie.
Here's one that I paid, and here's the other
They've
one
all
I
been paid. All of them.
All right. Now, here's the deal. They paid, Debbie, their July T-Mobile bill, and they paid their May T-Mobile bill. They paid their April, February, January. All right. Now, anything else you want to say?
Well, I have paperwork that shows that I had my credit card statement for Chuck's Parkfield Garage, where I paid to have John's truck fixed in November of '07 so he could get to and from work because all he had was a motorcycle.
So how much do they owe you
$1,008.
in total?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. You owe her money? Forget about the phone. I'm not going around the
Yes,
phone.
we
Yes,
are.
ma'am, we do.
You know what I think is curious here? You can put it down. I think that you are both somewhat credible.
Yes.
I really do. I really think that you're trying to pay. All right. But stop. It seems to me that there is truth on both sides here. That you borrowed the money. You know
Yes.
you owe her the money.
We owe- we
and
owe-
this is what happens with cell phones. I mean, everybody gets crazy with these cell phones. You can't figure out the breakdown. But as far as the court is concerned, the defendants are liable to the plaintiff for an unpaid loan. There's no question
Right.
about it. And unpaid cell phone bills. The question is how much. As far as the court is concerned, that there is a loan of $570 in terms of the unpaid loan.
That's
all right.
true.
Now, the unpaid cell phone bills appear to be $230 and a cancellation fee of $200.
Yes, ma'am.
But you didn't do the other cancellation on the phone because you're trying to get that to the point of the end of the contract. So at the end of the day, we've got $1,000 owed by the defendants to the plaintiff. Now, I give the defendants credit for the fact that they admit that they haven't paid it in full. But I got to tell you, Wilma, you can't make phone calls like the phone
I
call
know,
you
ma'am.
made.
I know.
Let me explain something to you. You could be charged with aggravated harassment, all right? And that is a crime. You don't threaten people. You don't curse them out. And what's curious to me is on the phone call, you talk about a ruby and diamond ring and $1,000 to let your dog sleep in my bed and I didn't sleep, my back hurt. I mean, if you're friends, maybe you can get it back together. I don't know. It seems like, it isn't totally broken, but you're winning. Why are you
Yes,
raising
ma'am.
your hand?
I wanted to give this back to her. I brought it. She gave it to me as a housewarming. Said she got it from her mother. I'd like her to have that back.
Why?
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 Because I don't want to be responsible for
Well,
it.
I don't
and
want
we're
it
not
back.
friends.
I don't
She
want it
gave
back.
it
You don't
in
want it back?
friendship.
No, it was a gift.
You
And-
want it, Jimmy?
No.
It was a gift. Debbie, that was
And
a
she
gift.
can have her ring back also.
No.
Oh, no. Don't do that.
No, I don't want that
let me
either,
tell you what I
Debbie.
think. You know what I was saying a minute ago when I ruled for you? What I was trying to say, but I wasn't going to go this far, is that you both, as sometimes off as it seems, you both seemed like you could still be friends. I think you're hurt, which is why you're doing that. You don't need to do that. They are willing to admit that they owe you money. And the fact that she bought a ring, and then let the dog sleep, that means they're friends. She could have sued you for that, and she didn't. I'm not saying she would have won, but what I'm sensing, Debbie, here is a sense of a certain amount of decency. I mean, the way you met and the who slept with who, I don't really care, but you seem to have had a good time, all right? And I'm not sure. That doesn't come out right. All I'm saying, Debbie, is this. Don't go that far.
It
was a gift.
It's a gift.
And you know what? I don't think there's real bad blood here. I really don't. I think there was some hurt. And I think that you guys are probably a lot of fun together. Verdict for the plaintiff.
Thank you, Your Honor.